Hi everyone, it's Highlights from Ukraine podcast, your daily audio summary of the latest news reported in the Ukrainian media. My name is Artem, and here is the news. For 413 days, Ukraine stands strong against the forces of the Russian invasion. A new horrific video of execution of an alleged Ukrainian prisoner of war was released by Russians on social media, reports ICTV. On the video, people in the Russian uniform behead a still-alive person in the Ukrainian military uniform. Judging by the video, it was filmed last summer. According to the Russian media, perpetrators of this war crime are members of the private military company Wagner. They were known for such atrocities in Syria. President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelensky commented on the video by saying that world leaders should react to it, reports Interfax Ukraine. Quote, "The world must see it. What kind of creatures are these? These are no people for them. Son, brother, husband. Russia is trying to make this a new norm, the habit of destroying life. This is not an accident. This is not an episode," stressed Zelensky. He added that there will be responsibility for everything. The Security Service of Ukraine launched an investigation into this war crime, the torture and murder of a Ukrainian prisoner of war. Deputy Defense Minister Hanna Maliar informed that they are trying to identify the victim and asked both public and the media to avoid making any guesses in this matter. Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba said that Russian terrorists must be kicked out of Ukraine, the United Nations, and held accountable for their crimes. It's absurd that Russia, which is worse than ISIS, is presiding over the UN Security Council, stressed the minister. The European Union stated that if the execution of a Ukrainian prisoner of war by decapitation is confirmed, it will be another brutal reminder of the inhumanity of the war waged by Russia against Ukraine. The Washington Post claims that Ukraine's planned counteroffensive has been postponed due to bad weather, the slow supply of equipment and ammunition from the West, and the leaking of secret Pentagon documents which discussed vulnerabilities in Ukrainian air defense, reports Ukrainska Pravda. The article in the media says that the expected spring counteroffensive was seen as the only chance for Ukraine this year to win back the territory held by Russian troops, which is about a fifth of the country. But the operation has been delayed by weather conditions, a slow supply of equipment, and a shortage of ammunition, raising fears that the situation could reach a stalemate. The media believes that if Ukraine is unable to regain a significant portion of the territory, many Ukrainians fear that they will be forced to negotiate with Russia from a disadvantageous position. At the same time, despite the lack of ammunition and the expectation of help from Western partners, the Ukrainian military is checking Russian defenses for vulnerabilities on the eve of a counteroffensive. United States Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin said that Ukraine has much of the capability it needs to launch a successful counteroffensive, even in the light of the recent leak of US intelligence documents. Reuters' analysis of the leaked documents of the US Department of Defense shows that Russia's full-scale war against Ukraine is turning into a protracted conflict that will last well beyond 2023, reports European Pravda. According to the documents, Russia is unlikely to be able to capture a Donbas region of Ukraine, as local campaign is likely heading toward a stalemate. The US military intelligence documents also state that both Russia and Ukraine have moderate combat resilience, meaning that both sides are likely to continue fighting for some time to come. Reuters analyzed more than 50 documents classified as secret and top secret that first appeared on social media in March. The agency was unable to confirm their authenticity. Spain plans to send 6 Leopard 2A4 tanks to Ukraine and 20 armored personnel carriers in the coming days. The delivery will be completed by the end of April, reports Army Inform. Spanish Defense Minister Margarita Robles added that 4 more Leopards are already being repaired so they can be delivered as soon as possible. Madrid has committed to sending a total of 10 tanks to Ukraine, but several times postponed the deadline of their delivery. Ukraine's Prime Minister Denis Shmyhal started his visit to the United States, reports Novinarnya. The Prime Minister met with US Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin and asked the Pentagon chief to supply F-15 and F-16 fighter jets and longer-range missiles to Ukraine. He stressed that Ukraine will win this war, but to achieve it faster and with fewer casualties, Ukraine still needs intensive military support. Austin did not comment on the specific request, but did commit to expanding the production of military assets in the US for Ukraine. Shmyhal also signed an agreement with the World Bank to provide Ukraine with another $200 million to restore the energy sector. The Prime Minister of Ukraine informed that Kyiv plans to receive at least $115 billion in long-term financial assistance from international partners. The UK imposed sanctions against the wife of Putin's friend and ex-Ukrainian politician Viktor Medvedchuk, Oksana Marchenko, as well as against relatives of Russian oligarchs Suleiman Kerimov, Andriy Skoch, and Volodymyr Yevtushenko, reports Ekonomichna Pravda. The USM holding, founded by Russian oligarch Alisher Usmanov, was also added to the sanctions list, as it does business in sectors of strategic importance to the Russian government, namely the Russian mining sector and the sector of communication and digital technologies. In total, there are now 1,559 individuals and 184 legal entities on the sanctions list of the UK. The property and funds of those who had been sanctioned are subject to freezing. We would really appreciate if you could recommend us to your friends and family, as well as share information on social media. This way more people would learn about the podcast and truth about Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Spread the word, people, spread the word. We call on you to demand from governments of your countries to impose the toughest sanctions possible on Russia and its citizens to stop their invasion of Ukraine.